Hi everyone, welcome to the Great Pyramid, the final level of Tomb Raider 1. Now last time, if you remember, we did the Atlantis skip. Since then, there's been a new way to do that consistently using the F3 and F4 keys if you're using the keyboard. So I'll have a link posted below helping with that if you're still struggling with that trick. And now onto Great Pyramid. Immediately at the start, I'm going to want to switch to our Uzis. Now because the route I took was a bit weird, I have a bunch of ammo, I have 786 here, but normally you should have less, but all you really need is about 600. And all we want to do is just go around the torso, shoot them. There's many ways to do this, but all I can say is try to shoot them with both Uzis all times if you can. Do side flips and back jumps a lot. Ideally, he doesn't turn or try to attack you too many times, as that can cause Lara to miss for seconds, or at least increases her miss chance by a lot. And one final thing is don't kill Torso when he's on the tile where Lara spawns, because that will soft lock the game and this door won't open after he dies. So be careful about that. Really not too much about this boss though. If he hits you, so there's really two attacks. He can do a little bit of shave damage like he did to me here, just a little bit, or if he gets a full attack on you, he'll take about half your life. So ideally don't get hit by the full swing, but if you do, you should have some backup meds at this point. Now after Torso's dead, there's two ways to proceed. There's this new glitch that involves this corner here and kind of doing some crazy inputs and flickering all the way up to the Scion over there. And that trick, I'll say, is the hardest glitch in the game now, since that's been discovered, but it saves about a minute or so depending on how fast you can get it. I'm going to have some videos posted below regarding that, because I think it's been kind of explained and taught very well already, and I don't really have much to add to that, so I'm going to just quickly go over the other way, which is the old glitched way, and you can basically use this route if you're doing glitchless as well. Okay, so you just want to come down through this hallway, come over here and crack bug. Now this level is interesting because by the time you reach here, you should have all the knowledge to do everything pretty easily, but you just want to try and do it quick. So crack bug through, push this block. It's a nice sequence here. If we come over here, backflip, forward jump. Now this upcoming clang doors is annoying, but in glitched it should be fine, because all you do is running jumps onto this tile, and then you wait for one clang, and then you can jump through like this, so forth. Now if you mess it up somehow, you will trigger them, or like, I don't know, let's say mess it up, you can jump back and then you just do this, but if not, you will fall and just have to climb back up again, but it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, and you proceed, come to the right over here, jumping whenever you can, but it's also not a big deal. Just push this block once, and we're going to do a crack bug on the right. Now this crack bug is also a little bit dangerous. Make sure to aim a bit on the right. So what happens if you don't? You'll just kind of do this, fall in the lava. So what we want to do is aim on the right, and so we'll stumble, and this way we can land on this platform and just push this block twice. Again, I'm going to be going pretty quick because this level is really just a linear hallway almost. And at this point in the game, you should hopefully be a lot more knowledgeable and have more movement skills to be able to do everything properly. So jump over here to this lever. There's a nice sequence here you can do. Do back, 2 running jumps and a step here. Now you should be around here or here, like just anywhere around this tile. And from here you can do a really good sequence. You can do a standing jump into 2 running jumps across. But if you can't get that, it's not a big deal. As like most things in this level, there's just kind of a bunch of ways you can do it. So let's say you kind of messed it up, you can just kind of come over here, just do some standing jumps, then you can do like a running jump here, and standing jump or whatever you'd like, really. Come over here, and now this boulder triggers right away, so I kind of missed that, but basically it'll trigger here. So immediately you can just go back and hide. Just running jump through. This one's a little bit further. It's the next tile here, so this one, and it'll trigger. The only thing is, be careful of these ceilings when you're running back, because if you try to, you know, cut corners too close or do a running jump, it's really common to get this kind of stumble. And you gotta be quick with the roll, otherwise you will die. Okay, now final thing before we get to the Scion. Going to collapsing tile and make sure you want to go somewhere in the middle so you can sidestep. And you also want to roll onto the tile just because it's a better facing. So what you want to do is something like this. Sidestep, you'll teleport to the bottom. Perfect. I want to be careful about the sides because you can't sidestep. So for example, if I'm on touching the wall, I can't sidestep to the right. And you're just like, oh, okay, well that actually worked. Okay, well anyway, just be careful. Just make sure you get the sidestep. That's like a really minor thing because you're going to be able to get the sidestep. So I'm not gonna keep going on that. And this is the same position as you will be in when you do, if you do that new glitch. That new glitch kind of puts you over here. It's kind of over here to trigger the Scion. So it's like the same position. So from here it should be the exact same. If you want to do that new glitch, you can follow the videos I'll post in the description below, and then you can continue from here. Okay, so from here you just shoot the Scion, jump to this door. Now from now on, the pyramid's kind of crumbling and the camera is really shaky. So just keep that in mind because it's that's kind of, I guess, an added difficulty, almost like fake difficulty to this level. But your movement needs to be pretty clean if you're going to do everything optimally because of that shakiness. Okay, so from the bridge, just want to jump to the right here. Now here, if you land like this, is really good because you can just roll and grab the edge. This is what we want. But be careful if you land like here. It's very common to try and roll and grab, and then you'll do that. So just shoot this, jump door, jump right, roll on the left. The left sets us up for a really nice sequence here, so we don't really have to think about this jump. I can just do actually. So easiest way and like most reliable is just doing a roll when you land and then another roll. So you'll be in this corner and you can turn and then do a running jump, shimmy all the way to the right. Slightly faster way is just doing that one roll when you drop down, doing one forward step so that you have this full tile to running jump and just jumping on this corner. Either case, going to shimmy all the way to the right, taking some damage from the darts. At this point, if you have any extra meds, they're really nice, but ideally you don't need a med in this level. If you do need one, then feel free to use it. Also, make sure to jump on that slope once you drop down. So you come over here. And from here is another nice sequence. We're gonna just turn facing this doorway, kind of like right in there. We're gonna do standing jump, running jump towards the right, and another running jump to land right after the spikes over here. We're gonna do another jump here. And there's an optimal way. You can do 2 steps and then jump over all the spikes like that, and then continue. So it'll look like this. Just constant running jumps throughout this whole level. Or you can take a slightly safer way, just go around a little bit, jump, then standing jump, running jump, and continue. In any case, you're gonna jump on this slope right as you land on it. For this next slope, you may need to wait a little bit. I recommend that, just so you don't fall in the gaps in between. Do this. And ideally, you get this stumble cancel. So first I'll show what happens if you do get the stumble cancel. It sets you up for a perfect sequence like this. You standing jump after and running jump right after this pendulum. Go through right after the pendulum. But let's say you miss it or whatever, right? Oh, okay. So there I just jumped really late. But let's say you stumbled here. So now you kind of have to manually do the pendulum, which is a little bit harder, but you don't have to jump if it makes your timing better. So what you can do is just keep going, and then from here, I mean, you could pause, also makes your life easier, but if you don't, just take a look at the pendulum, and with experience, you'll kind of figure out when to go in and when you can wait. So now you can just go in like this. And then sometimes, say you're here, okay, so that was really bad, but in some cases, you actually have a little bit of time before the boulder gets to you, so you can kind of stop in place for about, you know, half a second or whatever, like this. But just with experience, you'll kind of understand how to do that. Ideally, like I said, you just get this perfect sequence. You just come over here, grab cancel. Okay, that was bad, but let's do it from here. This. You can basically get this every time. It might take a little bit of shave damage if your movement isn't as clean, but again, that shouldn't really be an issue in this level. Now this next tunnel, again, you just kind of move forward down here. If you like, there is one running jump you can grab in this tunnel by just jumping to the right here. It's really important that you don't do just that, otherwise you'll get the stumble and you'll have to roll to avoid the boulder. But what you can do is kind of grind the right edge, like this, and then you won't get that stumble ever. If you just do what I did the first time, or you just, you know, kind of randomly jump here, you could. Okay, no. That works too. But if you just kind of jump like this, and you get a stumble, and you're gonna have to do that, make sure you avoid the boulder in time. Okay. Find one more ramp to go. This one, there's quite a lot of things to talk about if we want to go into the really specific details, but for the most part, after this tunnel, what you can do is just go down the slide, and I would say in like maybe 90% of the time, this pendulum won't hurt you at all. And that, like that. And then at the end, you just want to jump. Don't grab, just jump. You'll land on top like this, and you can turn and go. So for the pendulum, it really shouldn't be an issue, and you should be healthy enough to live it, even if you do take a little bit of damage. And at the end, don't do anything besides grab. Don't do any grab or anything other than jump, because even if you climb right away, okay, that's bad. But even if you kind of do this and climb right away, the boulder will kill you. And yeah, so that's the safest way I can recommend. Now this room, notorious for really awkward hitboxes. What you can do is just running jump. If you kind of go through the middle, it's not a problem, like this. But it can sometimes be tight. So what I would recommend, if you can get it, is do your running jump so that you get a running jump like right in this doorway and then 2 running jumps out there. So for example, if I only do 2 running jumps like this is like actually kind of close. So if my movement's just a little bit worse, I will catch on fire. But if you get kind of a running jump at the end there like this, then maybe you can tell, but I'm quite a ways further than I would be. It's just the way like the triggers line up with the lava. It's not a big deal, but sometimes your movement is like sloppy in this room and it can help. So once we pull this lever, just come to this next tile. Don't get tricked by going into that dead end hallway. You just want to come to this tile so that the door closes, and then we will just do 2 running jumps and a walk to the edge, and then jump, grab, climb up right away. This boulder is not dangerous at all if we do this. Now it's nice if we climb up on the left. We can get a nice sequence by 2 running jumps like this. Okay, but again, if you just miss it or whatever, it's fine, just keep walking. And then we want to jump, do a running jump right as we reach around this spot, like right after this tile. So let's say we messed it up. In either case, like if we got those 2 running jumps or not, we can do this. So once we arrive here, we want to jump, and do alternating jumps. So like left, right. Okay, that was bad. Okay, so this 2 running jumps in time. Okay, please. 2 running jumps. Jump there. And just go forward. Like that. And then sidestep down. That sequence can sometimes be hard to get, so the safest way and still somewhat fast is coming to this edge here. The basically the frog strat, I guess we call it, just constant standing jumps. One, I think you can even running jump. Yeah. At the end, for the most part, you can just kind of jump. Like if you kind of know the jumping at this point, you can just kind of jump in. But if you want to save, you just go to the edge and then just jump, grab. That's if you don't want to do the slightly faster strat, going onto the platform and then reaching downwards. And also here, yeah, you just have to be really careful about making sure you sidestep in time. Don't like stumble. That can happen quite a bit when you're like too scared of the pendulum. You move again, and something like this happens, and you're just gonna die. So ideally, you do face left, but it's whatever. Just gonna sidestep. Okay, so there I missed it, but I'm not gonna die. One last time. Just land, sidestep, like this. Okay. I can swim up here. You don't need any ammo, by the way, after after Scion, I guess. But even after Torso, you could kill Scion with pistols. But we're gonna just skip now, though. We're gonna just running jump all the way to the end. Water meatballs. Want to come on this slope. And you just do a simple slow bug. You can't cancel this one though, so you don't have to bother rolling. But you do teleport up here and go down. Now, just some final things. So first of all, when you do this, sometimes Nala can be a pain. Yeah, just try your best. This is the case where extra meds do help, because if you're like extremely tight meds and you got hurt because your movement was sloppy, this part can be pretty rough. So if you know that's an issue, try to pick up an extra med or try to be clean in this level. Another thing is when you're doing the slope bug, be careful about doing it too much on the left, like here. Because, okay, well, if Nala can go away, I can show you. Oh my god. What'll happen is, like this, you'll get stuck in this kind of part. Well, okay, it's a bit hard to see, but you don't want to be there. Just do it somewhere like in the middle or on the right. As you can see, you get kind of stuck like over here. Okay, and now two things when going down here. Don't do this kind of jump because of that exact reason. Now, in most cases, the swan dive is actually fine. In most cases, you won't die, but if you jump where I did, accidentally or not, you will die. So like, for example, if you do it like this, it's fine. But there's just kind of no reason to risk that. And final thing, don't jump on the left, all the way on the left. It can cause some issues. Let me try and see if I can get it. Yeah, like this. So as you can see, she doesn't start sliding and you can't get out of this. What you have to do is just hold jump all the way to the end, which is obviously way slower. As you can see, I'm trying to jump out, but you can't. You just have to jump all the way to the end, which is terribly slow. So last time, jump over here. You can either do the back and forward or sidestep, depending on what you want. And depending if Natla is going to screw you over. Example, if she's right behind you, don't do the back step, but if she's like on top of you, you might not want to do the side step, and it's all up to that. Just jump down here and you're good. And remember, if you're on the ATI patch, don't hold grab at the end of the level, though it's tempting to do here because you're jumping and grabbing. And that's the Great Pyramid. Enjoy final cutscene for yourself. And that's Tomb Raider 1. So I hope this tutorial helped. A couple of things I want to say. So first of all, I want to apologize for the time it took to make all these tutorials, and especially this last level. After some new glitches were found, I just kind of lost interest, and yeah, this took way longer than I thought to make. So I apologize for that. And another thing I want to say is that at this point in the Great Pyramid or wherever, hopefully your knowledge and movement is good enough that you should basically be able to learn anything. If you think your movement is still sloppy, I highly recommend checking out my first video again, like not even the caves one, just the intro one, because I think I did a really good job explaining movement. In the advanced section, I have basically everything there, everything that you need to know about movement. And after that, you can learn a new setup or whatever. There are some new setups and glitches and things like that. So far, none of them are major time saves. I think the most is like 15 seconds, besides this new pyramid skip. But once your knowledge and general movement skills is good enough, I think you can definitely learn anything, and a new setup is not a challenge at all. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these tutorials. Hope you enjoyed Tomb Raider, and see you next time.